Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. Long time no see. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have a spicy seasonal deck list for you guys. It is a Henselt list. It was made by a player called Gravekeeper. He's a Korean player. He plays a heck of a lot of Arena. He's probably one of the best Gwent Arena players there is, and clearly enjoys his fun game modes, and he made this very, very powerful Henselt list. And Henselt is a great leader to use in this game mode because he plays a copy of an allied unit on the battlefield from your deck, boosts it by 4 and gives it Zeal. Hey, the seasonal mode, what it does is it takes your entire deck, copies it so that it's twice as big, and then every time you play a card, it plays a card of equal provision value. So Henselt, you can utilize to target gold cards and play an extra copy of a gold card on the battlefield from your deck, boost it by 4, and give it Zeal. So it's pretty insane. The other thing to be aware of in this game mode is if you play a card of a certain provision value, it will pull a copy of equal provisions. So if a card such as Igni is the only card you have with that provision value, in this case 11, then you will pull both copies of that rather than a random one from within the range. So Igni will pull Igni, Ifrit will pull Ifrit. These are things that are just worth being aware of when you play this, because then when you mulligan, you want to mulligan, so you only have one Igni, you only have one Ifrit. So double Igni. Destroy the highest unit on the enemy row with a power of 20 or more. This is quite likely to happen because every turn your opponent is playing 2 cards, you know, because each card you then play a second one. So Igni, gonna see value. Double Igni usually sees some pretty good value. Then similarly, Colossal Ifrit, order damage all units on the opposite row by 1, cooldown 3, so we can damage all the units on a row by 1 twice by using 2 of them, or we can hit both rows. This has a cooldown, so we can trigger it, you know, multiple times, and we have so many units in this deck that require removing that typically you won't see removal for these things, but this is quite nice as a finisher, but you can play it early to use it as an engine. Elves' Double Cross is going to play the highest unit from our deck, which is, I believe, John Natalis and Neneki. John Natalis, whenever you play or summon a unit with orders, give it Zeal. So then you're going to be able to trigger all these things on the turn that you play it, like Neneki. We can then trigger her on the turn that we play her. We can trigger Ockfist on the turn we play him. We can trigger Selkirk on the turn we play him. We can transform our botchling. You know, you get the idea. So we've got Ockfist, damage all enemies by 1. Selkirk, utilized for dueling an enemy, removing issues, can be boosted by things like Neneki and Viesagota to make it stronger so that you can then, you know, remove more powerful things. We've got Avalak, order range given allied unit immunity. And bear in mind, you can pull an Avalak, a second Avalak with Henselt, right? So we can get double Avalak. We can give it Zeal with John Natalis or with Henselt or with Vess. And then we can Zeal, say, our engines such as our, you know, our Ifrit, our Viesagota. He's going to be boosting a unit by 1 every turn. We can maybe our Vandergrift, for example. He's going to be damaging an enemy by 1. And bear in mind, you can target your own units with that. So if your opponent's playing spies and filling up your game board and making it so you can't play anything, you can just kill your own units, kill the small units, make space for the big boys, you know? So that's a viable option. Vest, damage an enemy by 4, give an allied unit Zeal. We've got Vincent in here, our 6 power units along with our Blue Stripe Commandos. So he sets the power of a non-boosted enemy to 1. Blue Stripe Commando summons all copies of this unit from your deck. And because it's going to duplicate, we'll have 4 of these. So a nice little tempo play. Also thins them out your deck. Synergizes with the Blue Stripe Scout. Spawn a copy of a bronze allied unit at the bottom of your deck. So we can put these guys on the bottom and thin them out. We have our 5-point units, so the single reinforced trebuchet, but it gets doubled to 2, and the Illyrian Arbalists. So if you play an Arbalist, you could get a trebuchet. If you play a trebuchet, you could get an Arbalist. These are going to be dealing points, you know, per turn. Then we have our single Tridam Infantry. He synergizes pretty nicely, I would say, with the Viesagota and with Neneki. So you may want to trade one of the Cintrian Enchantresses out and run 2 of these, but 1 is fine. Lyrian Cavalry, whenever you play a unit with orders, boost off by 1. I mean, we're playing 2 cards per turn, right? So this is likely to trigger. And the Cintrian Enchantress, give an allied unit Vitality, which means it boosts by 1 per turn. Bonded, meaning if there's already one of these on the board, then you get the Bonded effect and gives it Vitality for 4 turns. And again, synergizes pretty good with the Tridam Infantry. That is the deck. But without further ado, we're going to jump into a game, we're going to play the deck, we're going to see how it goes, and we're going to have a great time. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. I've missed you, and let's get to it.
You want peace? Fight for it.
Okay, so here we are in the mulligan, and I like to try and keep a few 4 provision cost cards. The Arbalists are 5, which means that at the moment I'm going to be pulling trebuchets with them, which is not bad, but potentially maybe mulligan one of these. Actually, having a commando and 2 scouts is, I would say, pretty solid. And the opening hand's not terrible. Double Naneki is okay, but again, we might want to target draw her with Henselt. Single Ifrit and single Igni is what you're looking for here, okay? So if you have doubles of them, make sure you mulligan them, because you have to be aware that, you know, it'll only pull a copy if there's an option. And with Ifrit, the only thing it can pull is Ifrit. With Igni, the only thing it can pull is Igni. Okay, so let's start off by getting this commando on the back row. And unfortunately for us, we've got a second one. Or maybe fortunately, if our opponent happens to remove one, you know, it's okay. There were a lot of other 4 provision pulls we could have had there. We didn't see them, which is, you know, something that happens sometimes, but not the end of the world. Okay, so she got Milva and a Hawker Smuggler. Boost a random unit in your hands. That's slightly annoying because, you know, we don't really want her to have loads of boosted units in her hand, but arguably it's probably fine. So let's duplicate this. And then we can give something vitality, but we have to play this on the range road to do that, so let's remember to do that.
Resistance to fire.
And now if we trigger this, we got a whole stack of them. So we got a pretty stacked back row there, and already up a fair few points. The only thing you need to be a little bit cautious here with, really, is if you're running the commando strategy. There's a lot of points, but sometimes the rows get, you know, a little bit stacked, so you got to be careful in that regard. So we'll do this again.
Regroup.
Target this one. Another one of these babies. And unfortunately, you know, no Trident infantries to trigger, so kind of unfortunate there. But we got the range row pretty full now, pretty full. We got one more Enchantress we can play, and that actually makes the Lyrian Arbalist a little bit tricky here. So something you want to be,
the song of steel.
You know, somewhat careful about. But do we think he can catch us in one card is the question. If we don't think he can catch us in one card, then we should pass. And I don't hate the pass here, but then we forgot to play the tactical advantage, which was kind of silly. So what we're going to do, I think we'll play one more card. Get the cavalry out.
For the Queen!
Play our boost. And then end our turn. And we're about 30 points up at this stage, which I think is pretty nice. Pretty nice. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to kind of just...
Your next move shall be your last!
Maybe just leave it here. Let it kind of go. He's got the, you know, Sword Masters, but we're still... We're 12 points up. We thinned a lot of bronzes out of our deck. So passing here, not the worst choice, especially because this back row is completely full. And then we can look to just play gold cards going forward. So I think this is where we take that pass. And again, we are up 14 at the moment, but we're going to get 2 more from, I believe these will trigger the vitality. Maybe not, actually. It happens at the end of my turn, so maybe they won't trigger again. But still, my point is, I'm still not 100% sure on when everything triggers, like vitality and stuff. We're still, I think, in a pretty good position with the state of the board. Oh, unfortunate. But, I mean, they've spent a couple golds. We got ahead in cards. It does trigger at the end of the round, so not awful. And we thinned the deck quite a lot, so I would say I'm kind of happy with where we're at now. So we don't want all of these 5-cost cards. Again, you have to be aware of what you've got in your deck when you mulligan and stuff. We didn't see too many Lyrian Cavalry, and we didn't see too many, whatchamacallits, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So what we can do, they want to play this round. We play a Lyrian Cavalry, it pulls another Lyrian Cavalry. We play Naneki, it pulls Naneki. We play Natalis, and it maybe baits out some of their removal.
Dark clouds gather over.
We get an Ockfist. Not quite what we wanted this turn. We'll just trigger this. Makes it kind of less lucrative to kill, but we can always pull a second Ockfist with Henselt, so that's kind of fine. And we'll see how our opponent chooses to play into this round.
Peace with humans? I buy that.
And actually just opted to move Natalis to the back row, which is a totally valid strategy.
Onward, Fryhead!
But stacking his own row for us, which is very nice for our Colossal Ifrits. Okay. So I think it is time to play... I think we need to get some of these bronzes on the board.
Queen!
As a Trident infantry. Not the greatest play ever, but, you know, we're a card ahead, so we can afford to just spend a little bit of time getting things on the board.
You best yield now!
We got Yen. We got Regis. Okay, that's fine. Again, not hugely problematic at the moment.
To the last!
May your blade never
Oh, I
dull.
put it on the wrong
May
row.
your hand
I told
never
you guys,
waver.
make sure you put her on the range row and then put her on the wrong row.
May
Well
your sword
played,
and
Jaggerous.
arm be one.
10 out of 10.
Slaughter them to a man!
Okay, so we could pull another John Natalis with Henselt, and then we can actually play Avalak on the turn that he's played, which is pretty good. So let's do that. Get him on the board.
Temeria has yet to speak its
With
last.
a Selkirk, we can play the turn that he's played, which is pretty nice. So melee, and remember, see, because I played a unit, right? So I get to actually play 4 cards this turn. What do we think is more of a problem, the Say Synthesis or the Yen? Probably the Say Synthesis because it's targeted. And then I think what we want to play here is probably... we have a couple Vandergriffs. We could get them on the board, getting more engines.
What has that witch done?
And actually, I think I've run out of 8-point engines, so we didn't pull anything there, which was kind of a misplay by us. But, you know, never mind. We are nicely ahead here by 42 to 31, so that's at least a good thing. Slight shame there. I did think we had another target, and this is what I mean by paying attention to how many, you know, 8s and 9s and stuff that you have. In terms of the state of the board, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure if it was meant to pull something, because I feel like there are other 8s in here. Vess is a 8, for example. Maybe it only triggers for the first card that you played, and because it triggered for Henselt, we don't really get 3 cards this turn. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on that one, so it might just be that you get 1 extra card per turn. Oh, look at all my 5s. So we do want to do something about this, for
Blood
sure.
and neck ends. Similian what?
He's killing my Vandergriffs.
Fryhead!
I guess he wants to kill Natalis as well. Natalis is, I think, kind of a bit of a problem for him. So Naneke is going to pull a 9. That gives us options like Yisagata. It gives us some pretty nice options. Actually, Vincent would be pretty good if we could play a 6. I don't think we have a 6, though. Avalak is an 8. It's going to pull us things like... If we play a 9, we could get Elves Thunder and then Igni, actually, which would be pretty big, because we can use that to kill Yen Conch. But the problem is the front row's at 19, right? Which is kind of annoying. So I think what we'll do is we'll play Naneki on the range row. And then Ogvist. So then we'll use this to boost this. And this. And I think this, because this is giving us a lot of options. We'll hit the Yen. We'll trigger this. And we're up about 20 odd points here. So yeah, I think we're in a really good spot. Really, really good spot. And this is the kind of power of this deck. I mean, she is zapping a bunch of things every turn, but we can still play double Ifrit. We still have an Avalak, which we can use to protect something. So actually, probably worth using Avalak maybe to protect Natalis. It's really good to use to protect Yisagata, if we could get a Yisagata. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was insane!
You're in trouble. I can help.
Okay, let me work this out. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's not awful. We get 12 plus we get 8, we get 20 points. Puts us 1 point behind. Which means we'd catch up in 1 card, but... So I guess we play this for now and then again thin the deck. This is probably... I don't know, she might try and go for the 2-0. That was an insane Regis. Insane.
No one insults Gimpy Gerwin.
And double Gimpy. Am I going to get 2-0'd? I hope not. Oh, the front row is
Time for
pretty
a
stacked.
beating.
So I think this is time for Ifrit. Or do we play the Avalak? I guess we play the Avalak. We got a botchling. It doesn't too much matter what we put this. I think we can catch him, like I said, in 1 card. And then we go into the final round. Ethnay's gonna kill the botchling. You're gonna kill Avalak? What are you gonna kill? Oh, you're lining up your zap. Of course you are. You have to play now. So what's your last card? We'll see how this kind of pans out. Have I been bested?
Show me the coin or sod off.
I don't think so. That's not really
Got
that good.
business for me.
How many cards are in the back row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many cards are in the front row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I guess we play this first.
No! No!
I'll manage. Don't you fret.
And we'll transform this. I don't know why she shot that, to be honest. Oh, it's immune. And then it's Ifrit time. And unfortunately for her, because of the sheer number of points involved in this deck, we do in fact still get the round. So there you go. And that was a tough one. That was a tough one. The Regis, pretty nice. So we want to think about what do we have, how many points is she going to have, because Igni probably not that great here. Right, probably not that great. Naneki is 9 provisions, Botchling is 8 provisions. So what do we have in the deck? This is 9 provisions. Actually, 8 provisions. So that 8 provisions gives us some good options. Don't have any other 9 provision cards, I don't think. Although Avalak, is he 9 provision? No, he's 8 provisions, right? So we want to... We've got Selkirk, we've got Alza's Double Cross. Alza's Double Cross is going to pull Igni. Oh, not quite what we wanted to see here, unfortunately.
Not me. Thank my little egg.
Let's do that. End our turn. Not quite what we wanted. We maybe got a bit risky with the mulligan there. I did take a risk in it. Unfortunately,
There'll be nothing to pick up
hasn't
when I'm
paid
done
off.
with you.
So, Draenor boost from an enemy unit is kind of a problem. Yennefer is not as much of a problem, because we're going to use the boost from Naneki. Although we could save our Naneki boost, right? In which
Watching
case,
the woods grow.
we do this, and then we play this.
Give me it.
And then, I don't want everything to be the same amount of points is my only problem. I think Igni is dead here. Unfortunately. We drew it too late. Like, it would have been so much better in an earlier round. And maybe we should have mulliganed that. Maybe that would have been the play.
I'll turn against you.
We'd have had a botchling.
I hate portals.
Not quite what we wanted to see here, but I mean, we're up 14 points, so it depends on what her last card is. You know, is it something powerful? Is it something weak?
Watch your step.
Ooh! Look at that! Nailed it! Nailed it! Oh, that was probably the toughest match I've played with this deck. Egregious play, but it was. I mean, we played a 4-point final play, and it was still fine. So GG, well played. Right, let's jump into another game and have another go with this deck. It's a pretty fun one.
Not all battles need end in bloodshed.
Okay, so we're against Morvran, which is going to be interesting because Nilfgaard does have a few like locks and stuff up its sleeve. In terms of our hand, I like it. We have Tridams, we have Arbalists, we have some 4 provisions, we've got 6 provision, and we have some stronger cards, shall we say. I think I am pretty much happy. Orkvis can maybe go. Ifrit, we're going to keep a hold of, and we'll leave it at that, I think. I think this is kind of fine. State of the hand is pretty good. State of the hand is pretty good. What we got? Show me what you got. So, opening play. Arbalist is 5 provisions, so that could pull a Trebuchet. Commando usually pulls another Commando. So, I would expect that we'll see a Commando play here. We play this. It can pull Vincent. You know, it can pull Vincent.
Stars
so
contend,
that is an option.
Today.
But actually, because of that, there's nothing for Vincent to target. So we're gonna play the Arbalist first.
Arbalist in your command.
Yeah, our Trebuchet out. It could have pulled the second Arbalist. You know, could have gone with either of those. But I'm kind of cool with this. We want to thin out these commandos from our deck. We can get up to 4 of them, which is not too bad. Although, unfortunately, currently no Blue Stripe Scouts, but 4 provision cost card, we can pull Blue Stripe Scouts with things like the Infantry or the Enchantress.
Your life is mine now.
Viable options. Viable options.
101.
Oh my god, we're gonna see everything in everyone's decks. Okay, so let's get the commando on the board now.
Nice mess you've got here.
We also got Vincent. So I told you we could potentially pull Vincent. So we'll use this.
Gotta go with your gut.
It's not ideal, but you know. I mean, we're going to pull the rest of them, hopefully, with this guy anyway, so that's fine. We got 3 damage here. I guess we can just shoot some things, clear the board a little bit. Don't shoot us in the back row because of your trebuchet. And then we'll end our turn. Boop. Goes the trebuchet. Boop. Okay, let's see. 12 to 15. I mean, this is fine. That's not a bad pull for him. He got, you know, a decent amount of points there. And obviously he's got his assimilate going. So, although he didn't play a card, if he reveals a card from my deck, it seems to be triggering on the Imperial Diviner, which is kind of confusing. But we wouldn't worry about that too much. So before we play this, I do want to see if there's another... if we can make a copy. So let's play the Tridem Infantry now.
To arms!
We didn't get what we wanted, but that's okay.
God save
And
the Queen!
there we go. Thin out the deck. And now we're ahead. And if we can stay ahead, we can keep that card advantage going into the next round. So pretty good use of bronze cards, I would say. Pretty happy with the state of the board.
No message. Yes, sir. As ordered.
Okay, so let's get this Enchantress down.
All missiles shall your
And
armor
we'll
deflect.
boost this guy, because every time he gets boosted, that's good. And then here we go, Blue Stripe Scout. So play that,
Regroup.
copy that, thin that.
Semper
Look at that.
Fi!
Look at that as a play. End turn. Now 7 points ahead. Shooting people full of holes. And that's all of our bronzes. So we could look to play Vest now. Pull some 8 strength units.
One thing.
Natalis is not awful here. Although actually, that's a lie. We have another Tridem Infantry. So potentially we play him first. The only thing we have to be a little bit nervous of here is, you know, the row getting too full. And us getting into a position where we have to
You
pass.
scratch my back, and I'll scratch yours.
Actually, Vest is pretty good here. Kill this. But then if we pull something that needs to go on the front row, that's a slight problem. So let's just play her.
Lads, time
Get
to
rid of
discuss
this.
this later.
And we got another Vest, which we can... She got 2 reach, so we can actually put her back a row. Shoot this. And actually, I'm going to do this. A little bit of self-harm. But it makes me a little bit more space on the row. So, tactical positioning of our units. And we're going to get Zeal on whatever we play next, ×2 should we wish for it.
We follow Letho's lead.
Is an option. So if he can banish that, that's absolutely fine. The only thing it would be bad if he banished is
Time to get our hands
Colossal
dirty.
Ifrit. That annoying again because it's a good Henselt target, but you know, some of these things are fine. So I think we should maybe play Naneki here because we can then boost the Tridem Infantry.
Nasty wounds, those, but you'll live.
Oh, look at that.
Are you wounded? Again.
Look at this. And the Crowned shoots their opposition full of holes. Although this is very targetable damage, like boost, so, you know, maybe this is a risk. I mean, it is a risk. But arguably, I think it's fine. It's probably fine. We're up 30 points. What could possibly go... 30 points. What could possibly go wrong? And there's the pass. Okay, cool. So now we can decide, you know, do we want to play the round, do we want to bleed? Totally viable to bleed here. You know, there's nothing wrong with a bleed here. We've got double Igni, we've got double... We can get double Botchling, we've got our good friend, John Natalis. I'm going to throw this. I'm going to throw this. I'm not sure what the highest unit in my deck is at the moment for the Elves' double cross. One of these 5s. Oh no, it'll pull another Natalis. So that's not too bad. I've got double Igni in hand. That is bad. Okay, so maybe we don't bleed. Maybe we just take the card advantage. Yeah, I think we're gonna pass. Double Igni in hand. Not great. And
I divined this move.
card
from
advantage, you know,
spells
pretty
in
good.
us.
So let's see how this all goes. See how this all goes down. We're yelling timber. Okay, so let's... Oh, we can get double Avalak here, which is really nice. Throw one of the Ignis. Throw Vincent, because he's kind of meh. What did we get? Blue Stripe Scout's not really what we want to see here. But, oh well. Oh, well. Let's see what our opponent chooses to play.
Alba! Elves must die!
Okay, that's the Igni target. And he only played one. Which means that he's messed up his hand in terms of what is in it and how they interact. So let's play Natalis.
Temeria has yet to speak its last.
We're just gonna leave Okfist, we're not gonna trigger it right now. We could pull another Okfist with our leader, but we can have options with like Botchling. Oh no, I don't have a second Botchling. Let me see. We've got double Avalak, I think is probably good, or double Selkirk. Not bad. Double Vandergrift.
Sometimes I've had about enough.
That's a play.
There is no escape.
So if we play Elsa's Double Cross, it should pull another one of these. Anyway, look at that. Targeted draw.
Dark clouds gather over Temeria.
I'm just gonna make sure we have enough of the right kind of provision cards. The deck is usually okay. You don't normally have like situations where you draw and then you don't get anything good. I actually think I want a Lubberkin this round rather than a Botchling. But we have Natalis, so we can trigger, you know, we can trigger it the turn that we play it, which is pretty good.
See it.
Okay, well, you're gonna be immune.
Another battle. Another entry in the Chronicles.
I don't know if I want to trigger this boost yet, because we can utilize the Tridime Infantry. So I think for now, we just end our turn. Because we can boost the Tridime Infantry and shoot them full of holes, which is a nice play. This is risky. I was gonna say, if he puts all his boosts onto one target, because you're just setting me up to shoot you. We can get double Igni potentially with Vandergrift. I think we play Vandergrift, we see what he pulls, and then we make a plan. Dandelion Poet. What you got? You got a poet, and you didn't know it. You got another...
For help. That's smart.
Another Tibor. This is gonna be interesting.
Enough! Let us finish this!
That's a 13. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what have you done? What have you done? You silly goose. Come on, you gotta target something.
Beast or man makes no difference to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Give no quarter!
I am sorry.
Just getting warmed up.
This goes on the melee row.
Not your lucky day.
And...
Backwards.
it's what, 43 points? It's pretty good. I'm gonna trigger this. Get another 5. Oh, I feel bad. I feel a little bit bad. Oh dear, well.
I shall flog them.
Pretty good. I would say that was a pretty good. Oh no, another 13! We're running out of space on this row. This is the only slight problem. But we can use Vandergrift to kill Cancerella. And if we kill Cancerella, we can make a little bit more space. Which is good. I'm worried we're going to actually run out of space completely. Like, maybe their strategy is they're going to use all the space.
This could hurt.
Well, maybe not. So let's play this.
Halt! Don't retreat!
Put this on the
Damn
back
it!
row. Attack this. I think this is probably fine. Like I said, we're running out of space a little bit, so maybe we pull a second Vandergrift just to clear out these Ignis. This is the thing, you can kind of clear your own rows with this deck as well, so it's like not such a problem. Oh, they've given up. Okay. But I want to win by a lot of points, so I'm gonna keep playing cards. Is this... am I bad? Because, like, I want to... Oh, he gave up. I want to get the achievement where you win by, like, 50 points. I kind of feel like a bad person for keeping on playing, but I did want to get the achievement. And, yeah, so that's the deck. It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I like it a lot. And if you're looking for something to play in seasonal mode, that's a viable option. So go forth and have fun. Make your opponent upset at a game mode designed for fun where you're tryharding. But yeah, like, if you enjoyed the video, maybe hit that like. Do check out Gravekeeper. You can find him on Twitter. He is a pretty chill Gwent player. You can also find me on Twitter at Jaggerous and on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerous. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. And I hope I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!